Well, hello lovely people, welcome to today's pick card reading. We will be doing a reading on the topic of something you are not seeing in this situation. So think about a particular situation that's boggling your mind at the moment and pick the thingy that you feel the most attracted to. Pile 1 would be the starfish, then the bear would be pile 2, and the moon would be pile 3. And let's see what the cards will tell us about something you are not seeing in your particular situation. Hey, pile 1, if you chose the starfish over here, then these are the cards that came up for you. From the Moonology deck, we have the Cardinal Moon with the message of be bold and make the first move. And I'll read to you like the whole message for this card from the booklet, because different guys of you might relate to different parts of this message. But let's get into the cards as a whole and the tarot more specifically. So overall, I would say your reading in this sense is quite straightforward. In its message, it seems what you are not seeing in your situation that you are asking about has to do exactly with the fact that you are the person who is responsible for this situation and who should basically put their foot down and start going in a certain direction in order to get things moving or change things or progress things the way you want them to happen. There is something about your energy where you are going back and forth and being not quite decisive, and now is the time for you to make some kind of decision and progress in a direction. The thing is, we can always change directions at a certain point if we decide we are on the wrong road, basically, but you need to get in the car and start moving. This is the overall message I am getting for from your cards. Going at it one by one, the first card that came up for you over here in this corner is the reversed strength card. And the reversed strength card starts exactly with the message of you being somehow maybe a ball of raw emotion that might be keeping you stuck. We have the reversed King of Swords also underneath the strength card, so this can potentially reinforce the message that you feel somehow lost in your own power, I guess. Maybe your mind is not completely clear at this time, or at least you don't feel like it is completely clear. Like, moving on to the last card that came up for you, for instance, with the Seven of Cups coming up in the reverse position, there might be an energy surrounding you at the moment where you feel like you have too many options and you just don't know which to choose, basically. This is also something reinforced by the reverse Page of Swords in this position, which is again potentially speaking about you having too many ideas, not knowing which one to follow through with, and basically having this back and forth with ideas and with actions and acting haphazardly, not taking something to the end. So I guess a part of the issue, starting on the left side of the reading, has to do with exactly that. Like, you feel somehow lost in this situation between choices, between ideas potentially. Maybe not all of your ideas are also thought out at this moment, so you are just keeping busy with half things, so to say. And something, when we take, for instance, the combination of the reversed page of Swords that we have and the card beneath it, which is the Ten of Wands over here, the Ten of Wands can speak about us feeling overburdened and having too many responsibilities in our life. Now, whether this is something that is materializing for you or it is just in the mental realm. I can't necessarily tell for sure, but I know because I have often had this energy that when your mind is super occupied, like you feel extremely unproductive and extremely overburdened. Like you might not have a single thing to really do in your day, or I should rather say, you might not get anything done in your day, but just because you had a million racing thoughts during the whole day and you were thinking about how I need to do this, I need to do that, or I can do this, I can do that, and not being able to come to some kind of decision, this energy, this mental energy can really run you down. And I feel like this is something that might be happening to you regarding the situation that you are asking about. And a step out of this will definitely be just starting somewhere with something. Again, once you get on the road and you see, let's say 20 minutes later, that the GPS is taking you in the completely opposite direction of what you want, you can always change course. But until you start moving, until you see in which direction the dot on Google Maps is moving, you don't really know where you are supposed to go. At least take the wrong direction, see that it's wrong, turn around, continue going. Like that type of energy it's giving me. If we take the second, the right side of the cards, let's say the next 4 cards, the reversed 6 of, what's that called? Of Pentacles, and the reversed 5 of Wands. Now I feel like this, there is also an energy in your spread. Apart from the not being able to make a decision, there is probably, I mean, it is super common. We all know this as a feeling. There seems to be an additional issue here of you maybe not agreeing with the people around you regarding your course of action, or potentially even with the reversed 6 of Wands, not Wands, Pentacles. There could be something about you feeling used in a way. I guess, yeah, used is a fine word to put it. Like basically that maybe you are giving more than you are receiving type of energy, like someone taking basically advantage of you and what you have to offer. And with the other card coming up under it, the reversed 5 of Wands, this card also suggests a disagreement with people, potentially, like not seeing eye to eye. It doesn't have to be something super dramatic, and doesn't have to be like having a fight with somebody or anything like that, but it does signify some kind of discord in your relationships. So I am guessing that this is also something that might be keeping you stuck in this situation. And we also have, like, once again, on the top and on the right hand side, we have the 7 of Wands, and beneath that we have the 7 of Cups reversed. And the 7 of Wands really often speaks about feeling attacked somehow. It could again signify being in a way overburdened, but it has to more do with being overburdened because you pulled all of the weight up to this point to get here, and now there are people that are trying to come after you basically. And it's like you are not even successful at this point. It's not like you are at the top of the mountain and people are talking about you and like, what do I care, I'm at the top of the world, doesn't matter. No, you are still kind of in the trenches, and on top of that, some kind of assholes are trying to come for you and torch you basically. And with the reversed 7 of Cups underneath, like we said, this card often speaks about some kind of issue with making choices. And a part of this has to do, again, with you potentially wanting to fulfill other people's expectations. Like this card speaks about the need to find out for yourself what matters to you, what your personal values are that are guiding you in this situation. And once you find those, then you would know which cup to go with, like which choice to make, basically. And the last card that came up for you, I put it on the right side, basically the upside of the deck. What's it called? The bottom of the deck card is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups speaks about achieving that satisfaction and contentment with oneself, and basically having gratitude for all of the cups you managed to get a hold of during your journey, like all of the accolades you got, all of the achievements, that type of thing. So there is the potential of this energy where you go out of your current stuck energy situation, let's say, and you move into that contentment phase. But again, this will have something to do with you just taking a first step, being bold, like the cardinal moon asks, and just going after something. Now, I also decided to draw a couple of the astrology deck cards. To be quite frank, apart from the Capricorn card, which is really fitting because you know Capricorn is on the one side a cardinal energy, and it is very much the energy of strapping down and working on something, even if there are challenges, and plowing through all of the challenges with Saturn on your side, and then slowly getting those achievements and accolades. This is the Capricorn card. But regarding the other two cards, you might relate to them, so I'm gonna mention them either way. We have the asteroid Hygeia, let's say, which has to do with mental and physical health. So basically, what the card says, it indicates our relationship to sleep, hygiene, nutrition, exercise, and holistic wellness practices. Maybe what I can suggest is you opening up your chart on astro.com, let's say, and you can check in your chart where this asteroid falls, whether it makes some kind of significant aspects, like there might be a piece of information there for you regarding this asteroid. Yes, basically it speaks about its influence on our health. So if this is something you feel might have a message for you at this time, definitely go ahead, open your chart. If not, I guess it could just be like the significance of too much worry can disrupt all of those things, like our sleep, our mental health, our blah, blah, I can speak, our physical health. So if this is something you relate to as well, like, you know, a lot of the times when we are stressed, like you seem to be in this situation because of like not being able to make choices and blah, blah, blah. Once we start moving again, it's like a load falls off of our shoulders, and we just become more relaxed. I know it by myself. Like when I am not doing anything the whole day, I'm stressed at the end of the day. If I have achieved certain, even if it were small milestones during the day, then I feel fine at night. Like technically in both cases, I haven't achieved anything great. It's not like I won the Olympics or anything, but in the one case, you feel like you wasted the whole day. In the other case, you feel like you made small steps forward. So again, if you feel this stress somehow taking its toll on your health, this moving forward will definitely help with that as well. And the other card that we got, the Black Moon Lilith card, it is interesting. So I'm just gonna mention what it made me think when I saw it. So the Black Moon Lilith represents wild feminine energy. And basically you can take a look where it is in your chart, what aspects it makes, what house it's in, what sign, to make you better understand your sexuality and like repressed fantasies, fetishes, and compulsions, it says. So basically it can shed light on your addictive tendencies, specifically when it comes to love, romance, and dating. Now, I like to keep these energy readings as general as possible. But let's say if this is something you relate to on the level of relationship with somebody, this could be really significant for you, especially if we take this card together with the cards on this side we were talking about, from the Six of Pentacles on the top over there, with the Five of Wands and the Black Moon Lilith. If there has been some kind of energy in your life, in a relationship, in a romantic relationship specifically, with somebody where you feel like this person has been taking advantage of you, and you have probably had disagreements with this person, again with the reversed Five of Pentacles, there might be a message here where you need to move on from this situation. Maybe the bold move in your case would be to, again, look at your values, look at what's keeping you stuck in this connection, and slowly taking the steps to get out of it. And once you do, again, the energy is positive. Like, you would feel contentment at that point once you make that bold move in some kind of new direction. So again, I'm just saying, if it has something to do with a relationship for you, take that as well. Now, maybe one last thing. Let's read this card, the Be Bold and Make the First Move, Cardinal Moon, from the booklet. Okay, now is the time to be bold, bossy even. Take matters into your own hands. Cardinal signs are powerful and self-starting. They're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all of those things to get your ideal resolution or position in the situation you're asking about. Yes, fearlessness with the reversed Strength card, definitely pile one, in order to move it upside down. So next time it comes up in this direction, you need to be bold and get the lion by the balls, basically. Okay, this card may challenge you on how strongly you really want something. If you're worrying about a situation, it is a suggestion to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way and to step up as a leader. Ooh, leader. Yes, we have the King over here, which who in his positive contribution to society is a thought leader. But again, to get to that energy, you will need to be bold at the start. Okay, additional meanings for this card. Be bold and follow your heart and your emotions. Avoid recklessness or moving too fast. Something that could be signified also with the Page card. Haphazard action is not for you at this time. Come into your power. The time for action is now. And ask Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god, for help if this is something you feel drawn to. Absolutely do that. Okay, oops. Pile 1, this is everything for you guys, so I wish you all the luck. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this bear over here, then this is the reading for you. Now, I feel like I every time have a pile that seems to have a lot of, not necessarily different messages, but not as straightforward as typically like Pile 1 was, or at least felt like super straightforward. And with you, there is some type of enigma regarding this. So let's do it a little bit different than Pile 1. I will start off with your Moon card with the messages, because even they are a bit all over the place, I guess, like a typical Gemini. And then we will get into the different information from the tarot. And I'll again try to keep it as general and broad as possible so you can apply it to your specific situation. But definitely something, I mean, technically always deal with humans. So normally, no matter what we are asking about, it's going to have something to do with our relationships. But I feel like there is something about relationships in your reading that's super significant, because you also got a lot of cups card. Like 5 of the 9 cards are cups, and cups are typically related to like relationships, creativity, like feelings, that type of topics. And that's something that also came up in the astrology cards. But let's start off first things first with the full moon in Gemini. Now, this might not be super satisfying as an answer regarding what you're not seeing in your situation, but the message for you in this case is that the answers you need are coming. So, it is what it is, pile 2. Now, to read to you the whole message from the booklet, this card is a reminder that it's important to speak your truth, but remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now, you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may well come soon. The issue you're facing could be one or a few conversations away from being resolved. If you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting might be called for. If you're in the middle of an argument, this card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message, least said, soonest mended. It is good to talk, but be careful you aren't causing yourself any issues with your words. Words have enormous power. As metaphysician Florence Scovel-Shinn put it, your word is your wand. You create magic and your own reality every time you express yourself. Now, additional meanings for this card: don't be superficial. Someone is trying to flirt with you. Have you noticed? You need to laugh it off, this situation, and just move on. And job applications have good prospects. So, like I said, the energies are kind of all over the place. Now, let's see how well I can relay this information to you when it comes down to your tarot cards. Like I said, a lot of this energy is giving me relationship energy. So the situation you are asking about could very well have something to do with a relationship. And like I said, we have the pre-shadow retrograde card, which is basically the period before a retrograde of a planet starts. And it does mention the possibility that during this pre-shadow phase, let's say a Venus is giving in this card again, so it is kind of relationship themed. Now I think we are in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde if you're watching this basically like today, this week, and not later on. And with Mercury, you know, it is a communications planet. It is the ruler of Gemini. So there might be something clearing itself up to you exactly regarding communication or like even contracts and other mercurial subjects once the retrograde starts. But the idea here is that you can be thinking about an object or a person or something like specific during the pre-shadow retrograde, and then once the retrograde, blah, too many R's in one word, once it starts, then this thing may find itself again in your life. In this case, the example given here is a relationship. So again, maybe we are getting back to the message of there is some kind of communication with the Mercury retrograde that was maybe left unfinished in the past and will be coming back to you during this period. And it will very likely have something to do with a relationship in your life. And with the two, the new moon and the full moon card, we have this, let's say, cyclical nature of new beginnings and culmination of something and letting it go. So maybe what you're not seeing about the situation, on the one hand, that there will be some kind of recurring communication that started in the past, and also that this would lead to the culmination of a situation, and that situation then falling out when it needs to fall out. Now again, when we look at the tarot, basically the whole upper side of the cards speaks about something regarding relationships. We have for the start the Three of Cups, which can talk about like being in good company, being surrounded by friends, enjoying your life, having a party, that type of thing. Then we have the Six of Cups, which is again a joyful, happy energy, something surrounding with family, with getting back to your roots, maybe spending time in memory, in your happy place, thinking about the past and how pleasant it was. We have the Ten of Cups, which is for me one of the happiest cards in this sense, that it does speak of the full cycle of fulfillment and also specifically about relationships and harmony. And interestingly enough, at the end of those, we have the reversed Two of Cups. And the reversed Two of Cups actually does have the exact opposite meaning. It could signify some kind of breakup and disharmony in our relationship. So I don't know if we should be looking at this in your case as a timely progression of something that maybe started off positively in the past and moved towards something more negative. This is one possibility. If we look at the cards on the lower side, now they are more, let's say, diverse. Let's say they are more diverse. So for starters, we got the reversed page of Pentacles, which can talk about some kind of manifestation that really didn't went through, maybe some kind of failure in a way that we are now learning from. It could be also an energy of maybe getting distracted by too many things that we want, like we see too many shiny coins and we don't know which one to go after. Followed the following card, then we have the Two of Swords, which is very much an energy of getting stuck in limbo between some kind of decisions, because all of the decisions don't look optimal to us. So we kind of just stay there and hope for the best that it's somehow gonna blow over and sort itself out without us doing anything. And we also have the Eight of Cups reversed coming up afterwards. And the Eight of Cups reversed can signify us not being quite sure that we want to let go of something and like basically trying one more time. It again has this energy of indecision in it and also like wondering, well, is it better on the other side of the fence, basically, like the grass is greener on the other side where I am currently not. And the last card that came up in that row, we have the reversed Four of Pentacles. And with the reversed Four of Pentacles, it is very much a greed card. In that way, it could kind of be like the Page of Pentacles, where you are getting pulled by too many shiny objects. And it does ask us to somehow reevaluate what is important to us. Now, I would say that most likely, in your case, those energies that we mentioned, they must be combined in some way. And one, for instance, possibility that I'm seeing, I guess the shortest way to put it, and again, this might not be the completely satisfying answer, but I feel like a part of your message is that you are not necessarily, you don't necessarily need to know how things will turn out. At this point, you just need to know that they will move forward. And the part of this moving forward will have to do with you being open and sharing with other people. So I feel like The overall energy here is that there is something in the past, very likely a relationship, if not a love relationship, at the very least, a family connection or a friendship, some kind of group dynamic, something relationship-wise that you are not quite ready to let go of. And I feel like the memories and the joy from the past that this connection brought you is the thing that is making you doubtful whether it is right to move forward in some way and potentially leave this thing to die in the past, or to continue dragging it along. And something in this decision is not seeming optimal to you in either way. Like, for instance, today a friend of mine sent me a clip from, like, a video from Mel Robbins where she was talking about adult relationship, adult friendship. And one of the things was, the whole video was connected, but one of the ideas was that sometimes we kind of just outgrow our friends, not because we are bad people or they are bad people or something happened, but our lives change, our dynamics change. And with that, it is the most basic thing that our relationships will also change. But there is this stigma, I guess, around it, where you feel responsible to keep things as they are. And this drains your energy, it leads to resentment, but it also doesn't necessarily preserve the relationship. Like the type of thing where set the thing free and if it's meant for you, it will come back, like that type of bullshit. I personally hate letting things out of my control. So not my favorite message, but there is logic in this because sometimes the dynamics of our life just change and it makes sense for our ease and comfort to let things go. And those things will open up the space for something new and better, or maybe those things will take 3 months and then fall back into place and we will continue with them. But there needs to be some kind of letting go and transformation so the thing will become better. And I feel like this is some kind of relationship in your life that is going through the same or has gone through the same and now will be the culmination of this energy. So this positive thing from the past is keeping you stuck, and either decision to continue dragging it with you or to let it go seems shitty to you because this thing was really positive. So you are trying to figure out how to move it along or to try one more time to see whether it's gonna work out. I guess this could be kind of not greedy on your side. This is not the word I'm looking for, but egoistical, let's say, on your side. You need to protect your energy a little bit at this point. Like, you have all of your coins, you need to hold on to them. It seems that this thing, relationship, blah blah, is draining you in a way. So you need to take the time to reevaluate how you are gonna move forward, because there will need to be some kind of moving forward. Like, you can't remain stuck in this the whole time. And this moving forward for you will definitely have something to do with opening up to other people, but not in an aggressive way. Like, keep a wrap on it. Like, be careful, so to say, because if you, let's put it this way, if you pull out the wrong log from the 10 logs you see the kitty has gathered, if you pull the wrong one, all of those are gonna come crashing down, exactly like the Gemini card spoke about as well. Yeah, like, your words are a weapon, and you can, of course, use them in the right way to fuel the right thing that needs to be fueled. But if all of them come crashing down, then you're just gonna have a huge fire on your hands, and this is not something that you want to deal with. But at the same time, you have to be open regarding this energy. The Ten of Wands card is a card of sharing burdens and responsibilities. In your case, I feel like this burden isn't like a work-related burden where you have to carry 20 kilograms of rocks up the mountain. No, it has more to do, I would say, with your honesty regarding your emotions, feelings, your status in this relationship, how things have been, and that type of thing. And this will get the ball rolling for you. This will get this cycle to its culmination. It will start the new cycle. And then once you do it, once you start moving, you will receive the concrete answers of what is supposed to be and what is supposed to happen. Like the card says, the answers you need are coming, but they are not something that you need to know right now. Right now, you just need to get the ball rolling to move out of that energy. Yeah, I hope that this rambling made sense to you guys and it was helpful. Well, hello pile 3. If you chose this moon pendant with Stay Wild Moonchild, then this is your part of the reading. Let's get into your energy and your cards regarding something that you are not currently seeing about your situation. There is something here regarding your energy and how fast you are trying to move forward towards the end goal of achieving some kind of harmony and success. Like the good thing is that today all of the last cards that came up, like basically the below the deck card, so to say, have all been happy energy. So the good thing is that whichever pile you guys choose, there is this message of this thing evolving positively at the end. And I guess it makes sense either way, because things happen for our benefit in one way or another. But regarding your situation specific and your current energy. Now, because with the astrology cards, we got a couple of interesting things. First things first, you got the full moon in Aries card with a fiery climax approaches. The idea behind this card is that definitely soon you will have the maximum, like the climax of this situation that you're inquiring about. Now, there is an aspect of the Aries energy here where, like I said, you might be chasing the dragon a bit too fast. Like, you want everything to happen from today till tomorrow, and you might be a little bit too pushy and too with your horns up people's butts, basically. And this is something that might be an issue actually in this situation. Not saying that it will necessarily like ruin it or something, but there is definitely the advice of you needing to maybe develop some kind of patience or just chillness and calmness surrounding the whole thing. And I feel like this thing, this climax we're speaking about, will develop in the next like 1 to 2 months, I guess, because for you, apart from this moon, we got the super moon, which is like a supercharged version of the full moon. And it is great for manifesting and also for like discovering hidden depths within the self. So this super moon for you, I feel like acts as confirmation that there will be a big change in this situation, a profound change. And because we also got the post-shadow retrograde, I think in Pio 2 we got the pre-shadow retrograde. So for Pio 2, like the last couple of weeks, let's say, seems to be really important in their situation. For you, I feel like it's gonna be the time during the upcoming Mercury retrograde. I'm not sure how long that is, but I feel like it's supposed to be a month, maybe. And afterwards, I wouldn't be surprised if the energy continues to gain momentum until it ripens up, until the full moon in Aries. Now, I could be wrong, but I feel like in Libra season, we are supposed to have a full moon in Aries, because if I remember correctly from astrology, we have the full moon, the opposite sign of the sun sign. So it should be Aries. So if this is indeed the case, I did not Google it before I started talking, but if this is the case, then I feel like this situation will definitely clear itself within those next about 2 months. Now, good, let's get into your energy specifically from the tarot. Now, what your cards are giving me is that you are also suffering from some kind of decision sickness, let's say, but yours seems to be a little bit more fiery and action oriented than the pile that also got a similar message. So there seems to be something in the past that you are now recovering from, with the devil and the reversed 10 of swords. Yes, of swords. There was some kind of situation that didn't pan out for you, and you are now starting to release it and get over it. Somehow you remained unscattered, more or less, and you are recovering from it. And in this recovery, you are of course trying to now explore something new. The difference between you and one of the other piles that had a similar energy, you seem to be further ahead in this, where you now already have more of the idea. Like, you might still be playing around with tweaks on the exact idea, but it seems that it is more clear in your head. You are now more in the energy of like, I see all of these things that I want. I have started to build some kind of plan on how to get all of those things that I want. And now I am kind of putting the pedal to the metal, and I am trying to move into that energy as fast as possible. But I feel like this is something you need to take a step back from, because we have both when I see them in Spanish, I can't think of the names in the slightest, with the Fool card coming up in the reversed and the Knight of Wands coming up in the reversed. There is still something in your plan and in your energy which is not completely there. Like over here, if you look at this card with the Two of Wands, the earth is your oyster. Like, you can see the kitty has its paw on the world globe. So yes, you can technically do everything. Like, you have the power, the energy to do everything. It's not saying that you shouldn't pursue it or you should stop. It's not like there is necessarily something wrong with what you want, but there is something about it where you still need to spend some time in the planning phase. Because again, I feel like all of those shiny things down here that you're looking at are kind of distracting you from the practical side of things, and you want to just chase them right off the bat. And this leads you to be in a kind of energy where you might be a bit reckless. Like, you might be taking a little bit of an unnecessary risk. This is what this is giving me. Now, technically, we can sort of also look at it in another way. And this could be the way of like, if this thing, negative thing that happened in your past that you are now recovering from, it could be actually dampening your energy to move forward. Like, you might be a little bit afraid to start a new project, which could be leading to a sort of back and forth energy where you are kind of fearing the unknown. And this is again something that it's leading you to try to jump as fast as possible, so you get out of that icky feeling of fear whichever you see yourself in, it doesn't really matter. Like, it is kind of opposite sides of the same coin. Like, whether we are fearful and this is why we are trying to do it as fast as possible, or we are overconfident and we are angry with our current situation and we want to get out of it as soon as possible, the end result is the same. There is some kind of potential recklessness and frustration with the tempo that you are moving forward with. And this is just how it is at this point. Maybe this is also an aspect of the situation that you don't want to admit to yourself, that this will just take some time. And it is important, of course, to chase your goals. At the end of the day, you received fiery energy, and fire is about inspiration, about forward movement. It is about getting the engine going. But, you know, there was some kind of saying about, what was it? Like, burn slow like a fire, but don't go up in flames, basically. This was not the saying at all, but this is my idea behind it. Like, yes, pile 3, you should pursue this thing that you are going ahead with. It will pan out for you great, and it will help you move out of this energy from the past, this addiction, this hurt, this whatever exactly it was. But at the same time, if you go after it too aggressively, you might encounter some types of issues. So you need to put a little bit of a break on it, or I guess not a break, but don't be like driving with 150 kilometers an hour and then pump the brakes because there is an issue up ahead that you have to deal with. Instead, you can just drive your car with 100 kilometers an hour. You will get there at the same time, but you will be less stressed, and you will also cause less stress on the people around you. Because with the Aries card, this is also a potential issue that it speaks about. When you are in this type of energy, it can have a negative effect on your relationships. And relationship harmony is something that you are more or less striving towards, because the last card that came up for you, a part of it is relationship. It could speak about like a family relationship, even like marriage, childbirth, that type of thing. But it speaks about harmony in our life and our home life, like in general, and being happy and content with ourselves. So don't burden yourself and the people around you with the negative manifestation of this Aries energy, basically. And I am actually going to read to you the whole message from the card, because there might be something specific that you relate to. And apart from that, I feel like the rest of the cards are pretty straightforward. So, with the full moon in Aries, it is time to see if you've been a little bit too much me, me, me. There is a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created this situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. The message of attunement to the moon is: be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. And as to the additional meanings for this card, being assertive is good, just don't write roughshod over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Also, don't be a baby. And you need to have more fun. Those are the messages from the booklet. Pile 3. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck.